Let's be honest, if your trading chart looks more like a modern art masterpiece than a clear roadmap to profit, you're definitely in the right place. We are about to cut through all that clutter and give you the professional's playbook for real, genuine trading clarity.
Does this look a little too familiar? You've got a dozen different indicators, all shouting different signals at you, and you're just stuck, completely paralyzed. I get it, it's a super frustrating place to be, and we call it indicator chaos. It's probably the #1 reason traders can't find consistency. But I promise you, there is a much cleaner way to do this.
And this is it. This is the core philosophy, the secret sauce that separates the pros from literally everyone else. And let me tell you, this order is everything. It's not negotiable. Price is king. It tells you where we're going. Volume profile shows us where the market actually cares about doing business. And indicators? Well, they come dead last. They're only there to confirm what the first two are already screaming at us.
So, before we even dream of adding a single indicator, we need to build a map of the market terrain. And for the pros, that map is always the volume profile. It shows us where the real action is, where the big decisions are being made.
Okay, let's zoom in on the most important landmark on our map. It's called the point of control, or POC for short. The easiest way to think about this is like the capital city of your chart. It's the one price where the most business was done. It represents the fairest price, and because of that, it acts like a powerful magnet for price.
All right, next up is the value area. This is like the main business district of our capital city. It shows us the price range where roughly 70% of all the trading happened. The edges of this zone, the value area high and low, they act as super important boundaries. Pros know that trades taken outside of this area tend to be way less reliable. So within our map, we've got these things called high-volume nodes, or HVNs. You can think of these as the busy neighborhoods, the sticky zones. Price has been accepted here, there's a lot of agreement, so what happens? Price action tends to slow down, it chops around, and it finds support or resistance right in these spots.
And the exact opposite of that is the low volume node, or LVN. These are the empty highways on our map. The market took one look at these prices and said, nope, not interested, and it just sped right through them. So the key thing to remember is that these are the zones where price can just fly, moving from one HVN to the next. Okay, now that our map is built with volume profile, now we can finally bring in a few carefully chosen tools. But listen, and this is super important, these are not for generating signals. They are simply our compass and our radar, here to confirm what our map is already telling us.
And that's it. That is the entire toolkit. Seriously, but notice what's not on this list, right? No MACD, no stochastics, none of that clutter. Every single tool here has a very specific job. The VWAP, that's our institutional benchmark. The EMAs, just a quick health check on the trend. And raw volume, well, that's our conviction meter. It's minimal on purpose, and believe me, it is deadly effective.
You know, this slide perfectly captures the huge mindset shift between amateurs and pros. Most people get RSI completely wrong. They're just chasing those overbought and oversold signals, which, let's be real, fail all the time. A pro uses it to gauge the trend strength. Hey, in an uptrend, is the RSI staying above 40? In a downtrend, is it staying below 60? That's the real information.
Raw volume is your lie detector. It never lies. Picture this. An amateur sees price pop and they just pile in, right? But a pro immediately looks down at the volume bar. Is it getting bigger? Is there an expansion? Because if not, it's almost certainly a fake out. A real breakout through a low volume node has to have a surge in volume. No volume means no conviction from the big players.
And this, oh man, this is where it gets really powerful. This is the golden rule. So the VWAP is what institutions consider the fair price, and the volume profile's POC is the accepted price where everyone did business. When you only take trades where these two things agree, like prices above both for a long, you will automatically filter out a huge number of garbage setups.
Okay, so we've got the map, we've got the tools, what now? Well, now we turn all this theory into a simple mechanical process. This is where we take the emotion and all the guesswork out of the equation by using a crystal clear, actionable checklist.
It really just boils down to 3 simple questions we have to ask ourselves. First, is the market even on our side? Is the trend with us? Second, is price at a key location on our map? And third, and only third, is there a specific trigger telling us to act right now? We need a yes to all 3 of these before we even think about clicking a button.
So let's break down that first gate, the trend filter. For a long trade, we're just asking simple questions. Is price above the point of control? Yep. Is it above VWAP? Check. Is the fast-moving average above the slow one? Uh-huh. We need at least 3 yes answers here to even consider playing. If not, we just sit on our hands and wait. Simple as that.
Okay, now for what is, seriously, the most important step of all. Location, location, location. The trend can be screaming upwards, but if price is just floating around in the middle of nowhere, we do nothing. The big takeaway here is that we only consider trades at our predefined map locations. Is it pulling back to a high-volume node, or is it breaking out of a low-volume node? That's it. That's the entire list.
And finally, if the trend is right and the location is perfect, now we look for the trigger. This is the final green light. Is the volume on the pullback drying up? That suggests the sellers are just exhausted. Does the candle we're about to enter on close nice and strong? Does it hold above our key levels? All of these have to be a yes before we pull the trigger.
All right, let's put it all together and see what a real trade plan looks like. It's so simple. We enter on that strong candle right at our key location. The stop loss goes in a logical spot right below that structure. And our targets? We just look up the map to the next high-volume node. Boom, a complete professional trade plan built in less than a minute.
So look, having the system is great, but it's only half the battle. The real secret, the thing that actually changes the game, it's not in the tools. It's all in your head. This is the final, and frankly, the most important shift you have to make.
I love this quote because it just nails it. The vast majority of traders, 90% of them, are running around chasing flashing lights on their screen, just hoping an indicator will tell them what to do. The pro does the exact opposite. They find their key locations on the map first, and then they just wait. They patiently wait for the price to come to them.
Man, this is one of the hardest but truest things about trading. Anybody can click buy or sell. That's easy. The real skill, the thing that's actually going to make you profitable over the long run, is the discipline to wait for your A+ setup, the one that ticks all the boxes on your checklist, and to do absolutely nothing when conditions aren't perfect.
So at the end of the day, remember this. Real clarity comes from subtraction, not from addition. A professional system isn't about giving you more signals to trade. It's about giving you a strict filter so you make fewer but much, much higher quality decisions.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? You've got 90% of people frantically hunting for signals, and then you have the profitable 10% who are calmly waiting at their predetermined hunting grounds. They're not even playing the same game. And so that's the big question I want to leave you with. After seeing this professional playbook, which game are you going to play? Are you going to keep hunting for random signals in the chaos? Or are you going to build a discipline to wait for high probability locations? The choice, as always, is yours.